folded blanket. And a folded blanket. Sorry, I was thinking. Yoga mat, folded blanket, and if you want, like, you can use a pillow or something instead of a blanket. Not the end of the world. Dress comfy. I've got the music covered. We're gonna start slow, start stretchy, and then start to build up a little bit of heat from the inside out. Oh, and the UK. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, thank goodness we're all finally back on our regular time, which I'm sure a lot of you are still not in the same time zone as me, but it's nice to just be a little bit more on schedule. I think that's it, really. In terms of updates. Hi, Lisa. Yeah, this class is run on a donation basis, so if you are able to donate financially, it does mean a lot to me. It's what makes these sustainable. It's what allows me to continue to offer these and keep them accessible for other people who aren't able to swing it financially. Otherwise, please don't feel pressured. If you want to support me in other ways, there are so many ways to do it without doing it financially. You can leave ratings, reviews, follow me, tell your friends, sign up for classes ahead of time. It really helps. Yeah, I think that's about it. How's everyone feeling today? Thanks, Mike. How are we all doing? Thank you, Sibel. It's an okay Monday. Yeah, feeling good. Excited to be here. A bit tired and stiff, sore and tired. Okay. I have a little bit of COVID, just a sprinkle. I'm sorry to hear that though, C2, that sucks. I don't know how I'm doing. Yeah, stiff from the first. Good gardening day at the weekend. Nice. All right, so we'll do a good stretch and we'll build up that energy. Managing, feeling good and grateful. Nice. I'm feeling good, Nicole. Thanks for asking. Yeah, I was off this weekend mostly, so I'm glad to be back in the swing of it, but I had a really nice weekend away. A sore neck this morning. All right, so let's get started. We'll lay down on our backs to start. We'll do a little stretchy, releasey goodness. I would like a stretching. Okay, we can do that. So lay down, feel free to use a pillow or a blanket under your head. Take a long, slow, deep breath in. Let it go. Soften any expression on your face. Close your eyes or rest them on one point. Soften the base of your skull, the back of your neck. And drop your head to one side. And take a few breaths into the opposite side of your neck. Bring your head to center. Breathe into drop your head to the other side. Breathe into the other side. Gee, should I start using rights and lefts? Come back to center. And I should mention, if your back is feeling tight, keeping your knees bent can be a really nice way to be a bit more low back friendly. And reach your fingertips up to the ceiling. Feel your arm bones plug into your shoulders. Let this be quite lazy. Maybe you want to mirror that in your legs. Reach one or both legs up and feel as they plug into your hips, plug into the mat. You could go for a roll or a point and a flex, just moving around your wrists, your ankles. Make a fist with your hands, but bring your thumbs to the inside of your fists, so not on the outside. And then point your knuckles towards your legs. And then reach your fingers or your knuckles back, almost like you're revving up an imaginary motorcycle. And you'll feel that nice stretch into your forearms, discovering that there's a whole new place in your body that's tight, your wrists. It's a surprisingly deep stretch, or it can be. And give them a roll out, wiggle your fingers. Bring your feet down to the mat. Keep your arms up. Reach for opposite elbow. And use your right hand to pull your left arm over. See what happens if you drop your head to the right or the left. You might find a real sweet stretch there. And keeping your hands on opposite elbows, make a semicircle. So reach your elbows up, overhead, and then pull your right arm to the left and breathe into your right shoulder. Move your head to one side or the other to deepen the stretch. And come back to center. Release. Reach your arms wide. Drop your knees to one side if it feels okay on your back. If it doesn't, just gently let them fall. You could look to the other side. I'm just gonna really quickly update this playlist, put on a little bit more upbeat music. Where is it? There we go. And twist to the other side. Take a few breaths there. onto your back. Bring your knees in. And give them a good squeeze. Then as you breathe in, reach your heels up to the sky. Fingers overhead, make a big L shape. Exhale, hug in. Inhale, heels up, arms back. Palms could face each other so your thumbs come down to the ground. Exhale, hug in. Inhale to your L shape. Let your breath guide your movement. And the next time your legs are up and your arms are up, reach your fingertips to the ceiling. Soles of the feet up, or you can bend the knees if that feels better. Inhale to reach your right arm and left leg away, almost like you're going to tap them down. Exhale, bring them back up. Inhale, right leg, left arm down. Exhale, up. Inhale, opposite arm and leg, up. Keep going just like this. Notice if you rock a bit side to side. Try to keep yourself nice and stable. That might mean that you think about drawing your lower abdomen in towards your spine. Ooh, one more either side. Next time everything is up. Inhale, reach arms and legs wide. Exhale to bring them together. Inhale, get wide. Exhale, they come together. Try 3 more like that. Think about pressing your entire back into the mat. Imprint. From here, you can stay right here. If you're really actively reaching up, this can actually be a lot of work. Or maybe you do that one we often do where we press our hands and thighs into each other. If you want a little extra challenge today, you could interlace your fingers behind your head. Maybe you keep your legs up, or maybe they make a tabletop. Breathe in. Exhale, curl up to the tips of your shoulder blades. Try to keep your elbows in your peripheral. Inhale down. Exhale, curl up. Let's try about 3 more of those. If this just isn't feeling good on your neck or anything like that, change it up. You don't need to feel stuck. Let it all go. Hug your legs in. Might feel nice to bring your knees wide, roll out your ankles, drop your head side to side. Now, let's try bringing your knees up to a tabletop and bringing your palms together. You could even interlace all your fingers except for your index finger and thumb. So you've got your kind of water gun hands. And then see what happens if you reach your arms a little further away and breathe out, bring them down to the right. Inhale up, exhale down to the left. Inhale up. Maybe this time as you breathe out, you lift your head and that left shoulder. Inhale, head comes down, fingers point up. Exhale, turn to the left, Maybe you lift your right shoulder blade. Back up, over. Slow, smooth, and steady with your breath. You can always do this with your feet on the ground. Notice if you start to hold in your jaw and your face. Go for one more either side. And then let that go. Okay, so option to do a second round of that. Or bring your hands behind your thighs and rock up a few times, rocking up and down along your spine. You might find you get stuck. That's okay. Try again. It's part of the fun. You can try this with your legs straight. Think of like the bottom of a rocking chair. Alright, and then next time you're up, try to stay there. You might find you tap your toes down first. Otherwise, keep your shins parallel to the floor. Imagine having a really long spine. Boat pose, Navasana. You could reach your arms forward, palms facing each other. If you're feeling really fiery today, make your fingers interlace and you could point side to side just like we did before. Maybe you're still doing that one. Keep breathing. Nice twist in the spine. A lot of core work. You can always tap your toes down. Keep it going for 3, 2, 1. Let it go. Hug your legs in. Drop your forehead to your knees. Notice how you feel, not just in your core that might be on fire, but notice how you feel emotionally, how you talk to yourself. Sometimes I find, at least for me, core work can bring up a lot of feelings about like my own personal strength and like feeling weak or whatever. So for me, what's actually made me enjoy core work is just thinking about it playfully, having fun, and it really doesn't matter how many you do. Go for sensation. Can you feel your core? What feels good? Just kind of lighting up that inner fire. When you're ready, let's come to hands and knees. If you don't love being on your knees, you can do this seated. Breathe in, drop your belly down, reach your heart forward, tailbone lifts. Exhale, round your back. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round, push the ground away. Arch, round. Now what if you were to stay rounded here, breathe in, and as you breathe out, arch your back. Inhale, exhale, arch, ha. One more, just like that. Let's come in towards a child's pose, so sinking hips to knees. You can rest your forehead down. Maybe do this kneeling with your forearms down, hips over knees. If you're seated, you can just kind of slouch and breathe. Slouch sounds like not the right word, but kind of just round and chill. either to seated or kneeling or seated or tabletop. Look down at your left hand. Make eye contact with your left thumb. And breathe in to open it wide. So fingertips to the sky, reaching that arm back. Exhale, sweep it under the right. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sweep it under. One more like that. Same thing if you're seated. Reach that arm wide and then bring it across. On the last one, hold it there. If you're seated, you can hold it in place with your elbow. If you are on the ground, you can chill here. Maybe you bring that right hand to your low back, to your hip. Even pulling that right shoulder back in space. Release, plant right palm, sweep left arm. Plant your left hand. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, thread it under. 2 more like that. And hold it on this last one, wherever you are, getting that sweet stretch into the back of your left or right shoulder. You could bring your left arm behind you. Release, one more sweep up. And let it go. Might feel nice to make some circles here. Just move your back, release your shoulders, whatever that looks like for you. And from here, let's tuck our toes under, lift the hips up and back, down dog. Pedal out through your feet. Maybe you want to stay here and breathe. Maybe you're craving coming forward to a plank, shoulders over wrists, and then up and back, down dog. Exhale, come forward to your plank. Inhale, up and back, down dog. Feel your core that we just worked so hard. Feel it working for you again. Maybe you want to hold it in this last plank. Push the ground away, breathe in. You can always lower to your forearms, lower to your knees. And keep holding. Breathe slow. And come back, down dog. Let's walk our feet up towards our hands. And we'll all meet dangling here. Let your head go. Bend your knees. Sway. If you've got a blanket or pillow around, option to bring that down under your face. Bring your left hand down onto either the ground or your support. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Maybe you straighten your right leg, look to your right thumb. Exhale, come down, switch left hand for right. Reach the left arm up. Look at your thumb. Exhale, switch. Inhale, lift right. And go for a few more of those, finding your twist side to side. Once you feel evened out, come on back to center. You can move your pillow to the side. And come to roll all the way up to standing. Let's spend a moment standing together here. So have your feet facing forward, toes forward. I'll turn so you can see. You can have your feet together. You can have them a hip's distance apart. Maybe you want them even wider. Find stability. Press down into your feet. Feel how the more you press, the more energized you might feel in your body. Maybe you can stand a little taller. Kind of think of sending your energy down into the ground and you'll feel it rebound back up. Rooting to rise. You could think of drawing your lower ribs in, but still lengthening through the waist. Collarbones wide, back of the neck long. Inhale to sweep both arms up. Don't let your low ribs come with you. Exhale, arms wide and down. Two more like that. Inhale, arms up. Maybe palms touch, or maybe you go for this little dancey thing. One more like that. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Now what if you brought your arms out in front of you and you inhale, bring your arms back, heart forward. Exhale, they come across. Inhale, arms wide. Exhale, round a little bit. Inhale, wide. Exhale, round a little bit. Keep going like that with your breath. Try not to worry about right and wrong here. Just go for feeling. Close your eyes. Feel your shoulder blades moving. Notice if the rest of the body compensates as you move to keep you balanced. All right, from here, let's all stand with the feet, let's say a hip's distance apart or so. Doesn't need to be perfect by any means. Start to shift your weight back into your heels and come into your chair pose. So this could be a little bend in the knees. It could be a big bend in the knees. Think of coming back. If you want to engage through your glutes and hamstrings a bit more, pull the mat apart with your feet, or think about doing it. Hands could rest at your heart or your hips. Or maybe you breathe in, sweep your arms up. Breathe out, sweep your arms wide and down. Try a couple like that. Up and down. Could you close your eyes and notice how it feels to have the arms overhead or back behind you? What changes in the rest of your body? And come up to stand when you're ready. Find that tall standing where you feel stable and strong. Bend your knees again. Hips reach down and back, weight into your heels. Hands can do whatever you want, or you could experiment with wide and across. Wide and come in. So your body has to do a little bit extra work here to keep you balanced and stable in the lower body as your arms do their own thing. And chances are you and I breathe at a slightly different rate. We all breathe differently, so you listen to your breath more than you listen to me. Maybe you sit a little lower. Go for one more of your inhales, one more of your exhales, and then stand on up. Drop your chin to your chest, a little bend in your knees, roll down bone by bone, let your head go. Hang out here in your forward fold, bend your knees. Tuck your chin, roll on all the way up. Lift your right leg. Bring your knee up in front of you. Now you can hang here. Maybe your toe is down, or maybe you're holding onto a wall. Or again, reach your arms up, reach your arms down. Legs stay still, arms come up, arms come down. When you're ready, let your hands rest beside you, step back with that right foot. And let's say we're coming into a lunge here. So bend into your front leg, lift through your back heel. Inhale, arms up, widen up. Exhale, arms widen down. One more like that. And then what happens if you press into your standing foot, slide your right foot up? And then could you tip it back, step back to your lunge? Option to add your arms. Inhale, arms up, knee up. Exhale, arms down, leg back. Let's try 3 more. Slow, smooth, and steady. Next time you're in your lunge, stay there. Hands to your hips. Take a small step forward with your right foot so you can have both legs straight. Bring your right hip forward, left hip back. So think about squaring your hips to the top of the mat. Sometimes we kind of want to turn out. Bring them forward. Hands could rest on your hips or reach actively back, or even interlace your fingers, pull your shoulders back. Breathe in, find length. Exhale, start to tip forward. So that whole right foot stays on the ground. It's at about a 45-degree angle, so think of your right toes pointing to the top right corner of your mat. Notice if you're tempted to round to get closer down. Prioritize your long spine so that all the sensation really goes into your legs and hips. Pyramid pose. Inhale up. And step that back foot forward. Press into your right foot. Left heel lifts. Maybe the whole left leg lifts. Find what you need to do for your balance. And then mess it all up by reaching your arms up and widen down. Keep low ribs drawing in. And this might start to feel like a bit of core work here. Generally, if we're really connected to our bodies, to our movements, our core is pretty much working in every pose. The next time your arms are by your side, tip forward, step back with your left foot into your lunge. You can have that heel up real high or a little lower, whatever works, wherever you can find your balance. Arms up and down. Stay here or flow, come up, arms up, knee up, leg back, arms down. Let's go for 3 more. Next time you're in your lunge, stay there. Ooh. Step up a little bit with your left foot. So sometimes we say, like, think of 2 or 3 foot distances between your back foot and your front foot. Pull right hip back, left hip forward. Hands hip at your hips. Reaching back or interlace. Try to bring the opposite thumb in front. Shoulders back, back of the neck long. Prioritize your long spine as you hinge. So sometimes also, if you hyperextend your knees, I tend to, that moment where your knees kind of lock, see what happens if you have the tiniest little baby bend in your knee. So rather than locking, I don't know if you can even see it on the camera. Locking, not locking. Locking, not locking. Come all the way up. Woo. Step up to the top of your mat and take a nice wide stance. You might want to turn widthwise on your mat for this. Let's say our feet are parallel, hands to our hips. You can bend the knees a little or a lot or not at all. Let's see what happens if we walk our hands down our legs. You might find there's a moment where you want to stop. That's cool, stay there. You might find that if you bend your knees, you can bring your hands to the ground, and maybe you don't bend your knees at all. Wide leg forward fold. You could bring your left hand to your right foot. Right arm up, maybe to your low back or maybe to the ceiling. Try to keep your hips level. Imagine like you could balance a glass of water right on your sacrum, that space between your hip bones. Inhale and get a little taller. Take up a little more space and breathe out. Maybe you can twist into it. Release, switch sides, right hand to left foot. Left arm reaches up. Try to square your hips as best you can. Sometimes it's hard to tell if you're practicing alone. Release. And let your head go. You can reach for opposite elbow. Or maybe you have the space to walk your hands inside of your feet. Maybe even point your fingertips back and crawl your hands a little further. Breathe. And turn your foot to the top of your mat, whatever foot that is. Lower your back knee down, and let's all come into a child's pose. Knees together or apart. If that doesn't serve you, you can lay on your belly or lay on your back and pull your knees in towards your chest. Big breath in. Long breath out. And go for one more of those. So, a couple options for this next one. We're going to be laying on the front of the body. If that doesn't serve you, come into your cow spine. So dropping the belly, tailbone reaching up. Think of pulling your shoulder blades together behind your back. You can come in and out of that a few times. If you're cool with laying on your belly, come on down, take a few breaths to settle in. Point your feet, so point your toes to the back of your mat. Press into the tops of the feet so that your knees lift up off the mat. Let's bring the hands under our shoulders. Press into your feet and get so long that you could lift your heart up off the mat. Maybe you lift your hands too. Try to keep your head in line with your spine. So you might have just seen that I had my chin up and I'm kind of cranking the back of my neck. Try to keep your spine and head in line with each other. So for most of us, our gaze is really just to the top of the mat. Lower down when you're ready. You can bring a cheek or your forehead down. And then either come back for a second round of Cobra, pressing into your feet, knees lift, lengthen up, maybe hover your hands. Or you could hover your feet too. Reach your arms back, palms facing the body. You could even interlace your fingers behind your back and pull yourself back. Imagine like I'm there, pulling your hands back behind you. Really lengthen through the low back and try to lift through your upper back. Keep breathing for 3, 2, 1, release. Opposite cheek down. Move your hips side to side. You can even windshield wiper your legs. Eventually roll or make your way onto your back. Feet parallel, knees bent, palms face down beside the hips. Press into your feet, reach your knees forward and lift your hips. Stay here, interlace your fingers, walk your shoulders in underneath you. Bridge pose. Breathe, slow and steady. And when it's time to come down, walk your shoulders out, lower down bone by bone. Bring your knees together, feet wide. And bring your knees in. Drop them to the right. Right hand could land on left thigh. Reach that left arm up and back, out to the side. Maybe you look to the left. If you want to sneak in a little hamstring stretch, you could straighten that top leg and grab a hold of the leg or maybe even the big toe. Release. And come out of your twist really slowly. Feel as your spine and the back of your hips start to make contact with the mat again. And drop them to the other side. Look the other way. Do whatever you want to do with that hamstring stretch. Release. Roll onto your back. This time bring your feet together, knees wide for butterfly. there's any last movements or poses that you like to do to finish up your practice, go for that. Maybe a happy baby or something like that people tend to like. But really, no right or wrong, just whatever feels best. And when you're ready, settle into your Shavasana, final rest, whatever that looks like for you. Where do you feel the comfiest? Where can you really just let go? Let go of your practice. Let go of any to-do list, anything else lingering on your mind. There's nothing else you need to be doing. You are exactly where you need to be, and you've done enough. There's nothing else you need to do. Start to deepen your breath. Make little movements in your fingers and toes. Until you gain enough momentum to take that big stretch and roll off to one side. And stay here for a few breaths. And come all the way up to seated. Hands over your heart, belly, or any other place that's meaningful for you. Send a mental thank you to your body. The roots of our yoga practices. And to yourself for carving out this time in your day to practice. Thank you so much for being here with me. Peace.